All right. Hello world. This is my first video, probably my only video because I don't know why I would make another one, but I wanted to talk to everybody about microdosing psychedelic mushrooms. Where do I start? They're amazing. I love them. I think they are fantastic for depression and anxiety, which I suffered from my worst bout of depression last year. Just the whole year from January all the way until probably the end of November when I started microdosing mushrooms. I was horribly depressed, like during the summer, crippling depression. Couldn't even get out of my bed. And most of my life I've been a really happy person. I've struggled with binge drinking for the last 10 years or so. And yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, I've taken mushrooms before when I was 15 just to, party, to trip. I ate a whole eighth and it was fun. The next day I felt great, but I didn't really think anything about it. I was 15 and I didn't really care. I wasn't looking for anything except to get fucked up. And then when I was about 18, I took mushrooms again. Same thing, hallucinogens. And then when I was 24, I ate an eighth and I was kind of depressed because I just moved across the country. I missed all my friends back home in Chicago and my dad, and it was really hard. And I got some mushrooms from a coworker and I had one of the best trips ever. I was laughing my ass off for like 3 hours about nothing. I listened to The Cure over and over again. It was great. And the next day I felt what they call an afterglow. I felt amazing, like I was on top of the world. And I haven't touched them since back last year in November, and I saw myself really struggling to want to stay alive, and it was scary, especially when you've been with somebody for almost 10 years and they mean the world to you, but you feel so alone and like nothing matters. Not even my little best buddy right here. I wasn't thinking about anything except wanting to die. It's fucking terrifying and lonely. So I knew there had to be something out there because I didn't want to go to a therapist. I don't want to go on medication. So I've done my research. I quit drinking October 8th. And my first microdose of mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, was November 21st. And my life has never been the same. But it's for a good thing. I did a bunch of research. The website that I found was really helpful was the Third Wave, and I'll put all the links down below. And this one guy's YouTube called The Natural Way of Healing. His name is Yanni. He's really, really awesome and into natural medicine, which I am all about. And yeah, I back his channel up. He's awesome. He's smart. He knows what he's talking about. But microdosing, I have followed the Dr. Fadiman, I feel awful if I was pronouncing that, schedule of microdosing. And it's 0.1 to 0.5 grams of grinded up mushrooms into a powder. Usually I'll put 0.2 grams in some orange juice, take it first thing in the morning, go to the gym, and have amazing workouts. Like, I'm usually there for about 2.5 hours, and time goes by like that. You don't trip, you don't hallucinate, you don't see things moving or breathing. That would be terrifying because I'm not in the place mentally yet. As happy as I am and as stable as I feel mentally, I just don't think that's a good idea for me to be tripping on mushrooms just yet. Because it's, for me, I'm 27, and for me now it's just a healing process and a healing journey. And this is why I'm sharing this with you guys, because I have turned to psychedelic mushrooms to help my depression and anxiety, and it's done just that. And I wish they were legal. I wish I could just grow all the mushrooms in the world and give them to everybody, because I think everybody should do this. It's life-changing. It really is. And I have nothing but good things to say about it. But yeah. The side effects, usually, depending on how much you take. First, I started on my Instagram, I started blogging, pretty much putting up a picture a day for 30 days when I started microdosing back in November of last year. And each day, I would put, you know, the side effects, how I was feeling and all that stuff, and what dosage I did. And yeah, so the Dr. Feynman schedule, I forgot to mention, it is you're not microdosing every day, but you are taking 0.2 to 0.5 grams of the mushroom, grind it up, because the stems and the caps have different levels of psilocybin in them, so it needs to just be grounded up. That's what I prefer. That's what I've heard too. You take it one day, and then you have the next day to observe, keep a journal. That's what I did. And then the next day, like the next day to observe, the next day off, and then you dose again. So it's every 3 to 4 days. So that's what I was doing. And I could tell effects, like positive side effects, the next day, like after I microdosed. And you know, it's not a magic pill. It's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take these mushrooms and my life's gonna be fucking great. No, you have to know why you're doing that. And like I said earlier, I struggled for years with binge drinking. And it got to the point where I was like, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna end up dead. And I just can't do this anymore. So I started working out last year in March after one of my best friends committed suicide. And I struggled finding my routine in the gym, you know, because after she passed away, of course, I started drinking heavily and partying and just not giving a fuck, kind of losing myself. And so it was like drinking and then spending 2 to 3 days hungover with the fear, wanting to die. Like I couldn't even move. I would call in sick to work. There goes my iPod.
No luck?
No, I'm videotaping this right now.
Cool.
You just interrupted me. Where was I? So yeah, that took about 6 or 7 months to finally get down, and it got easier once I stopped drinking. For some people, it's easy to have a beer or two, like my fiance Ryan, he can do that. And I'm thankful he can do that, because if we were both on my level for the last 10 years, we'd probably be fucking dead. Because I've done some stupid shit when I've been drunk. And I'm surprised I haven't had DUIs or gotten into car accidents. I'm so thankful that I haven't. But yeah, I've done some really dumb shit while I've been intoxicated. And he stuck with me after all these years. He's amazing. But there's so much to life than that. And I've learned to live my life sober. And that's another thing, microdosing mushrooms, it has shut my brain up. Sometimes my brain will just go and go and go and go, and then I start getting really bad anxiety. Like I think, you know, before I go to bed at night, like this fucking big earthquake's gonna hit, it's gonna hit, and like I'm gonna lose everything I've worked so hard for, my life. Like our cats are gonna die, like we're gonna die. Like it's fucking terrifying. That's what I would think of ever since I was a little girl, you know. I used to not go to my friends' sleepovers because I thought my dad was gonna die while I was away. Like, just fucked up. So that's a little bit insight into my brain. And mushrooms have, like, calmed me down. Like, everything's gonna be okay. And I'm more at peace with things in life and death and the way things go. You know, quitting drinking, you really see who your real friends are, and it fucking hurt at first, but it's fine. You know, I feel like everybody has come in and out of my life for a reason, and they have left me with a learning experience. You know, I try to look at everything in a positive light, and I think that's what everybody should do, but who am I to say what to do with people's lives? I can just only hope for the best and that people are happy and are happy with the life that they lead. And if they're not, then change it, because it's You can do it. If I can do this from where I was last year, I think anybody can do this. Yeah. I hope this video finds you well, and I hope it was informational. Yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. Yeah, have a great day.